22nd, 2026. And huge news today because reports stating that Alejandro Balde has decided to leave Barcelona. We're also going to discuss Hansi Flick's first pre-match press conference of the season and also another exit that was confirmed today. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the channel. My name is Mo, and what an exciting and amazing day because tomorrow, Sunday, August 23rd, will be the first official match, Barcelona match of this 2026-2027 La Liga season, and I cannot wait. I am so excited. Always summer ends up being incredibly long without any Barcelona football. But don't worry because Barca is back, ladies and gentlemen. Tomorrow we will be playing against Elche in their stadium. Now, not only do we begin with this amazing news that tomorrow is that Barcelona football is back, but also we begin this video with the great news because all of Barcelona's players have been registered. And this is, of course, great news because a lot of people were asking me, Mo, are we going to be able to register all these signings that we made? And, well, the answer is yes, because Barcelona are back under the 1-to-1 rule. So Barcelona have been able to register all of the players. The only question, of course, was whether we were going to be able to register Joao Cancelo, not because of financial fair play problems, but because of timing, right? Cancelo signed yesterday, Friday. Tomorrow, Sunday, is the match. So we didn't know if there was going to be enough time to file all the paperwork with La Liga for La Liga to examine it and approve it. But don't worry because Cancelo has also been registered. And don't take my word for it. Let's look at La Liga's official website. This is a live view of the website right now. This shows all the registered Barcelona players. It's starting, of course, with the goalkeeper, Joan Garcia, who will be wearing the number 1 kit for this season. Of course, last season he wore the number 13th, but now with Ter Stegen on a loan to Ajax for the whole season, Joan Garcia will wear the number 1 jersey, and Wojciech Szczesny now wearing the number 13, which was occupied by Joan Garcia last season. Now, with the defenders, here we go. Like I was saying, Joao Cancelo has been registered, which means Joao Cancelo will be available for tomorrow's match against Elche. Of course, he has already been training with Al Hilal, so physically speaking, he is ready, but also bureaucratically speaking, he's also ready. And then, of course, there's no adaptation here. He has already played under Hansi Flick, so Joao Cancelo could easily see minutes tomorrow. Who knows, maybe even start. Now, Joao Cancelo, of course, will wear the number 2 like he did in past seasons. Then we have Alejandro Balde, Pau Cubarsí, Andreas Christensen, Gerard Martin, Jules Koundé, Eric Garcia, and then Hector Ford, who, of course, Barcelona are currently working on transferring him. It looks like he will be headed to Dortmund unless there's, a last-minute offer by a different club. But that's what it looks. Now, we did review this website, and a lot of these players were not here. So as you can see, Barcelona have been working all of today on register the remainder of the squad. And then for the midfielders, of course, we have Gabi, Fermín López, who will be wearing the number 7 this season. It was previously occupied by Ferran Torres. Then we have Pedri, Rodri, ladies and gentlemen, registered with the number 16, which was Fermín López's former number. Dani Olmo, Frenkie de Jong, Marc Bernal, Rooney Bardarji, who unfortunately is injured and will be out for the rest of the season. And then Marc Casado. As you can see, no number there because Barcelona are also working on his transfer. And with forwards, we have, of course, Lamine Yamal, Rafinha, and our 2 newest players, Karim Adeyemi, who will be wearing the number 14, and Anthony Gordon, who will be wearing the number 17. So great news on that front. All of the players have been registered except one player, and that player is Jesse Bissou. Jesse Bissou, the 18-year-old Belgium winger that Barcelona have signed from Club Brugge or Club NXT, which is the reserve team of Club Brugge, was not registered. not because there's financial fair play problems, not because Barcelona don't have the money to do so, but because of bureaucratic problems. There's some delay in the paperwork, and that's why Bisiu was not registered on time, so he will not be available for tomorrow's match. But Barcelona are not worried. They expect this problem to be resolved pretty soon, and Bisiu will eventually be registered with Barca Athletic. Okay, he's going to be a Barca Athletic player, but it's expected that Bisiu will be going up and down between the first team and Barca Athletic, training with both, playing with both, because, of course, he just arrived and he needs to adapt, he needs to learn, he needs to grow, he needs to develop, and I'm sure he'll be getting a lot of playing time with Barca Athletic, but also training with the first team. Now, Rodri, even though was registered, is not expected to play tomorrow because he is still working on an individual training plan. Of course, Rodri did have a minor procedure in his back after the World Cup. He's still recovering from that, so he's been training. He's been following a specific plan designed for him. So Rodri will not be available for tomorrow. But don't worry, because Rodri will start training with the group on Monday. And it's expected that he will be available for Barcelona's second La Liga match against Athletic Club de Bilbao on Thursday. So no Rodri tomorrow, but that's okay. He will be available for the second match against Athletic Club de Bilbao. Now, as always, when there are matches, there's, of course, pre-match press conference. And today was no different, where Hansi Flick held his first pre-match press conference of the 2026-2027 season. And, of course, as always, when Hansi Flick speaks, we must listen because he always has interesting things to say. And I chose the the main topics that I wanted to focus on, the most important topics, because there's a lot of, all conferences have usually the same question. Do you think tomorrow is going to be important to win? Yes, motherfucker, that's what you're supposed to do. But anyways, that's not the questions I want to focus on. I want to focus on the real questions. It's starting with a question that was asked in regards to Julian Alvarez. Hansi Flick was asked, has Barcelona ruled out a move for Julian Alvarez? And this is what the German coach had to say about the whole ordeal. I'm not worried about this. I'm not talking about players from other teams. We want to make the team stronger. This is about the team, the club. It's not about a player or me. Deco and I know what we want. They have done a fantastic job. So, of course, a response kind of expected, We don't talk about players from other teams. That's usually the response from any coach. But the phrase I want to focus on is Deco and I know what we want. And, of course, if you add that sentence to the phrase by Deco after the Joan Gamper Trophy match where he said that Barcelona will be making a move, this tells you that something is cooking, ladies and gentlemen. Something is cooking behind the scenes. It looks like Flick and Deco have someone in mind that Barcelona are working on signing. We don't know who it is, but I got to say, I'm very, very excited. Now, Hansi Flick was asked about tomorrow's match. Hey, who's going to be the number 9? There's no number 9 right now. Can it be Hamza Abdelkarim? Can it be someone else? And this is what Hansi Flick had to say. There are many options for the forward. The first one, I'm not sure. I think it won't be difficult. Hamza has had a great preseason. He is a 9, young, has a lot of potential, and has scored goals. It's the important thing when you play there. So Flick saying that, he has the solution for the forward. That's not a problem. Of course, he's not going to tell us who it is. He never does. So we're going to have to wait until tomorrow's match to see. But, of course, Flick also pretty much praising Hamza Abdelkarim after an incredible preseason where he was a top scorer, right? 4 goals in a preseason, 6 goals in 10 matches last season with Juvenil A. And it was, as we've seen, Hamza is looking incredibly, incredibly promising. Now, of course, the question is, will he start tomorrow? Will he get minutes tomorrow? I think Hamza has done enough to earn minutes tomorrow. It is Elche. We're not playing against Real Madrid or Atletico Madrid or Bayern Munich in the Champions League. I think that's a good match to try out Hamza Abdelkarim. But, of course, we're going to have to wait and see. And, of course, I want to hear you guys' opinion. What do you think about Hamza playing tomorrow? Do you see him as a starter? Do you see him coming off the bench? Or do you just see him not playing at all? Let me know down below in the comment section. And then, finally, Hansi Flick was asked about Alejandro Balde because, of course, during yesterday's podcast, I told you how Jorge Mendes was in the city of Barcelona. He was there for the presentation of Joao Cancelo as a Barca player, but he was also there to discuss other players because he represents many Barcelona players. He was there to discuss, of course, Marc Casado's exit. And he brought with him some offers for Alejandro Balde, saying, hey, there's clubs interested in Balde, including Manchester United. So, of course, given that news, Hansi Flick was asked, hey, what's going on with Balde? And, is he leaving? Is he staying? What's going to happen with the Barcelona fullback? And Hansi Flick said, it's a difficult question. Balde has a lot of quality. For me, it is important. As I have said before, you have to have the condition to compete in a home position, and this I want to see in each player. I see what they do every day, which shows me that they are ready to play at the highest level. In the end, we will only succeed as a team. We need everyone 100% committed to us. So Hansi Flick, on one hand, praising Balde, saying that he has a lot of quality and that he's important for the team. But on the other hand, also saying that he wants to see players fighting for that starting position, and he wants to see players, being committed 100%. And this, of course, begs the question, was Flick just saying this in general, that he expects all his players to, fight for the starting position and to give their 100%? Or was he hinting that perhaps Balde is not doing this, that Balde is not giving his all to the team, and that Balde is not fighting with everything he got to win back his starting position that was taken away from him by Joao Cancelo, deservedly so? That's going to be an interesting thing to find out, or interesting question to answer. Now, of course, after the press conference, people started speculating what's going to happen with Balde. Again, same question. Was this just Flick speaking in general? Was this a direct message to Alejandro Balde to step it up? And well, hours after the press conference, the huge bombshell of today dropped, and that is that Alejandro Balde has decided to leave Barcelona. Now, it looks like Balde, up to this point, had wanted to stay. In fact, he had made statements this summer saying that he wanted to stay at Barcelona. I reviewed those statements here on the channel. But it looks like today, after a conversation with both Flick and Deco, the player has decided to leave because, there was a conversation about what his future looks like at the team. We don't know if maybe Deco and Flick said it's time for you to go, or maybe they said, hey, you're not going to be as important, and he decided to leave. We don't know what happened during that conversation, but what we do know is that after that conversation between Balde, Flick, and Deco, the player decided to leave Barcelona. He has communicated his decision to Jorge Mendes, his agent, who's still in the city of Barcelona working on Casado's exit. And he has requested from Jorge Mendes to look for a new destination. We don't know what that destination could look like. We know Manchester United are interested in him. We know Benfica have made inquiries. We know Fulham, I think, has made inquiries. We know there's a lot of teams interested in him, but this just happened today. So Jorge Mendes, I'm sure, is gonna get to work to try to figure out and try to collect offers, bring them to Balde, and see which one is best for him. Now, it's reported that Barcelona would want around 40 to 50 million euros for Balde, with the most likely destination being the Premier League. Now, in my opinion, I think it would be a mistake to let Alejandro Balde go. He's only 22 years old. He has a lot of potential. He debuted with the first team, I think, at 17 years old, and ended up benching Jordi Alba at 18. We've seen what this guy is capable of: his speed, his explosiveness, his ability to go to attack, at the same time track back and help with the defense, his crosses, and even his ability to score. We've seen what Balde can do. And yes, he had a bad season last season, but let's not forget, he's only 22 years old. He's still learning. He's still growing. He's still making mistakes. He's nowhere near his prime or his peak. And I think if we let Balde go in a few years, 3-4 years, he's going to be killing it somewhere else. And then we're going to be talking about, oh, we need to bring Balde back. And of course, by then, they're going to want to charge us 80, 90 million euros to bring him, right? This is the same Cucurella story all over again, where we let him go. And then we're like, oh, let's bring Cucurella back. Let's bring Cucurella back. Oh, wait, Chelsea wants 60, 70 million. I think that's what's going to happen with Balde. I hope I'm wrong, but I think it will be a mistake. But hey, if Hansi Flick says, again, we don't know what happened during that conversation. We don't know if Flick says you need to go, or if Flick says, hey, you're not going to be a starter, and Balde said, I want to go. We don't know. But if Flick thinks that Balde needs to go, who am I to say otherwise to Flick? So if that's the case, then I'm 100% agreement with Flick. If that's not the case, I think it would be a mistake to let Alejandro Balde go. Now, it's reported that Barcelona will use that money to then reinforce the defensive line, whether bringing a center back or whether bringing maybe a left back that can play as a center back as well. For example, Barcelona could reactivate the pursuit of Jorge Salinas. We know Jorge Salinas can play as a left back and as a left-footed center back. Or they're saying Hansi Flick really likes Luqueba. That could be an option as well. But of course, for that to happen, Balde first needs to leave to bring that money in that Barcelona could use to make this signing. Now, I want to hear you guys' opinion. What do you think about possibility of Balde leaving? Do you agree with it? Do you disagree with it? Let me know down below in the comment section. And speaking of left backs leaving the club, today, out of nowhere, I came across the most random, surprising news because I hadn't heard anything about him for a while. But it looks like Barcelona have transferred David Odro. You guys remember David Odro? He came to Barcelona. He did a tryout. He impressed all of the coaches. So as soon as he turned 18 in December of 2024, December 2025, he was here for 2 seasons, well, season and a half. Anyways, as soon as he turned 18, Barcelona jumped on the opportunity to sign him. When he first arrived, there was a lot of delays, bureaucratic delays. You know, a lot of times there's a difficulty when you bring players from other continents. There's immigration paperwork you have to deal with. Plus, you know, the paperwork that you have to exchange between the clubs, between federations. But anyways, there's a lot of bureaucratic delays when he first arrived, which limited his playing time to only 10 matches his first season. Last season, that increased to 23 appearances. But it seems that David Odro did not end up impressing Giuliano Belletti. So Barcelona have now officially transferred the 20-year-old Ghanaian left back to the second division French club, FC Annecy. Annecy. I think that's how you say it. It's Annecey. Annecy. No, Annecy. Annecy. FC Annecy. It's a second division French team, which David Odro has joined. Again, I saw that news today and I was like, huh? What? Odro? We're selling him? Where did this come from? But anyways, that's the news, ladies and gentlemen. That's all I got for you. Tomorrow, of course, Barcelona, or actually Elche versus Barcelona, since it is an away match. Very, very excited. The first match of the season for our beloved club. I cannot wait to see the lineup. I cannot wait to see how Barcelona play tomorrow. Is it going to be a 4-3-3? Is it going to be a 4-2-3-1? Who's going to be the number 9? Is it going to be Hamza? Is it going to be Anthony Gordon? Who's going to be playing what? Who's going to be doing what? I'm so excited! Anyways, that is all, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment, and as always, Visca Barça.